The universe is in you. Awaken the creator within.
What is the true nature of reality? Is the solid world we perceive with our five senses the beginning and the end of all that is? Or is it merely a single layer, a visible surface on a much deeper, more mysterious ocean of existence? They are the essential questions that have driven human inquiry for millennia, debated by philosophers in ancient Athens, contemplated by mystics in Himalayan caves, and explored by physicists in the world's most advanced laboratories. We have always been seekers, searching for a grand, unifying truth. But what if the most comprehensive answers didn't come from an ancient scripture or a quantum equation? What if they came from a place no one was looking, through a person no one would have ever chosen? This story does not begin with a sage on a mountaintop. It begins in the unassuming post-war landscape of America, specifically in a small second-story apartment in Elmira, New York. It begins with a woman named Jane Roberts. If you were to construct the perfect profile for a mystical prophet, Jane Roberts would fail every single test. She was not a spiritual seeker. She held no deep-seated religious beliefs, and she was, by her own admission, a resolute skeptic. Jane was a writer, a poet of considerable talent, and a budding science fiction novelist. Her world was built on the logic of language, the structure of story, and the intellectual pursuit of ideas. She lived a quiet, relatively ordinary life with her husband, Rob Butts, a talented artist. Their partnership was one of intellect and creativity, grounded in the tangible reality of their work, their bills, and their shared life in a small town. Their life was, in a word, normal. And it was this very normality that would make what happened next so utterly extraordinary. The first tremor that shook the foundations of Jane's predictable world occurred in September of 1963. While sitting down to work on a collection of poetry, she was suddenly overcome by an experience for which she had no name. It wasn't just a moment of inspiration, it was a deluge, an entire, fully formed philosophical framework of complex, interwoven ideas flooded her consciousness in a single, overwhelming instant. These concepts, which she would later title The Physical Universe as Idea Construction, felt utterly alien, as if they had been downloaded directly into her mind from an external source. The experience was exhilarating, but also deeply unsettling for a woman who prided herself on her rational, orderly mind. Driven by this profound and inexplicable event, Jane and Rob decided to embark on a cautious experiment. In late 1963, almost on a whim, they decided to try a Ouija board. They approached it not as believers seeking spirits, but as curious intellectuals exploring the hidden corners of the human psyche. They were skeptical, half expecting it to be a complete waste of time. For the first few sessions, their skepticism seemed justified. But slowly, a change began to occur. A distinct and consistent personality started to emerge through the board, one that was intelligent, articulate, and possessed a unique sense of humor. The planchette moved with increasing authority, spelling out complex sentences and engaging them in philosophical discourse. Then, on the evening of December 2nd, 1963, this emerging consciousness gave itself a name. It spelled out, with deliberate clarity, S-E-T-H. The entity calling itself Seth quickly made it clear that he was not the disembodied spirit of a dead person. He was, in his own words, an energy personality essence. A consciousness no longer focused in physical reality. A teacher from another dimension of existence. Soon, the cumbersome Ouija board was abandoned as Jane, to her own shock and continued skepticism, began to channel Seth directly. This was the true beginning of a journey that would span another 20 years and produce over 10,000 pages of meticulously documented material. Jane Roberts, the poet from Elmira, the pragmatist, was about to become the reluctant and unlikely messenger for a body of work that would challenge the very bedrock of our scientific, religious, and philosophical beliefs about who we are and what reality truly is. The quiet apartment in New York had just become a doorway to the cosmos. And so, through this unassuming woman from a small town in New York, a powerful and reality-bending concept began to emerge. It was the central theme of everything the personality called Seth would ever communicate through her, a foundational principle that turns conventional wisdom on its head. That principle is simple, yet profound. You create your own reality. Not as a metaphor or a poetic sentiment, but as the fundamental operational law of existence. But what does this mean, and how does it work? The primary tool of creation, according to Seth, is your system of beliefs. Think of your beliefs as the powerful architectural blueprints for your reality. Every single thing you experience, from the state of your physical health to the quality of your relationships to your financial situation, is a perfect living reflection of the beliefs you hold. These beliefs are not just fleeting ideas. They are powerful, concentrated structures of conscious energy that act as a governing filter for your perception. You do not see the world as it is. You see the world as you believe it is. Consider the person who holds a deep, unexamined belief that they are unlucky in love. They will unconsciously seek out partners who are unavailable or incompatible, filter their perception to magnify their partner's flaws, and interpret neutral events as proof of their misfortune. It is the physical materialization of a core belief. Many of these most powerful beliefs operate from the unconscious mind. They are absorbed from our parents, our schooling, our culture, and every major emotional experience we have. They are the silent, invisible assumptions that run our lives, the constant instructions we give to the universe about what we expect to encounter. Therefore, to truly change your reality, you must first be willing to bravely examine the blueprints you are using to build it. If beliefs are the blueprints, then your thoughts and emotions are the energy and the raw materials that bring those blueprints to life. Seth teaches that thoughts are not private, intangible things that exist only within your skull. Every thought is a real, tangible, energetic structure that flashes into existence. Your imagination is not a fantasy. It is a genuine creative workshop where you build prototypes of future events. Your daydreams, your visualizations, your idle fantasies, these are not idle at all. They are the focused construction of potential realities. The more detail and feeling you pour into them, the more substantial they become on an energetic level, pressing for physical expression. But thoughts alone are often not enough. What gives a thought its immense creative power is emotion. Emotion is the fuel. It is the powerful, magnetic charge that gives a thought the propulsive force to manifest in the physical world. A thought combined with intense feeling, whether it be joy, fear, love, or anger, is one of the most powerful creative forces in the universe. This process is as impartial as the law of gravity. Gravity doesn't care if you are a good person or a bad person before you fall. In the same way, the universe doesn't judge the worthiness of your creative energy. It simply and faithfully mirrors the quality and intensity of your focus. The energy you consistently send out is the reality you will inevitably build around you. This leads to one of the most liberating and empowering concepts in the entire Seth framework. Your point of power is always in the present moment. So many people feel chained to their past. They believe that past events, traumas, or mistakes have irrevocably defined who they are and what their future can possibly be. Seth adamantly and consistently refutes this. The past exists only as a collection of memories in your mind right now. The future exists only as a vast range of probabilities. The only point in time where you can truly act, where you can make a choice and create a tangible effect, is this very moment. This doesn't mean pretending the past didn't happen. It means recognizing that its power over you is not inherent in the events themselves, but in the continued focus and energy you give them in your present moment. By shifting your focus, you withdraw your creative energy from those old patterns and begin to fuel new, more desirable ones. This is the ultimate form of personal responsibility and freedom. It shifts you from being a passive recipient of life's events to the conscious, active director of your own experience, beginning now. Understanding these mechanics of creation, that beliefs are the blueprint, thoughts and emotions are the energy, and the present is the point of power, naturally leads us to an even deeper question. Who exactly is this self that is doing all of this creating? To answer that, we must now explore the nature of identity itself, delving into the multidimensional soul and the larger consciousness of which we are all a part. To say that you create your own reality is a staggering claim. It hands us the artist's brush and points to the canvas of our life. But this power begs a deeper question, one that sits at the very heart of the human experience. Who exactly is the artist? Who is this self that wields such creative potential? Is it the name on your birth certificate? The collection of memories and habits you've accumulated? Is it the face that looks back at you from the mirror? According to the Seth material, the identity you know and experience every day is only the beginning of the answer. It is but a single, brilliant beam of light emanating from a star of unimaginable magnitude. Your true self is a multi-dimensional consciousness, an energy personality so vast that it cannot be fully contained or expressed within a single lifetime or a single reality. This concept of the multi-dimensional self is fundamental. Seth asks us to imagine that our current life, our personality, our ego, is like a character being played by a master actor. That actor, the true whole self, exists independently of the role. It possesses a far greater range of knowledge, experience, and abilities than the single character it is currently portraying. We have chosen to focus our vast conscious energy into this specific point of existence, to wear this costume of flesh and bone, and to engage with the unique challenges and triumphs of this life. We do this for the same reason an actor takes on a role, for the richness of the experience, for the lessons that can be learned, and for the unique expression that can be achieved. We are the eternal consciousness playing them. This means that deep within us, beyond the noise of our daily thoughts, lies a connection to this greater entity. It is the source of our intuition, our sudden bursts of creativity, our deepest feelings of purpose, and the quiet, persistent feeling that there is more to us than meets the eye. This redefinition of the self leads directly to a radical redefinition of reality itself. In our standard model of the world, we are taught that the universe is made of matter. Consciousness, if it is considered at all, is often seen as a happy accident, a ghost in the machine, a complex illusion generated by the firing of neurons in the brain. He states unequivocally that consciousness is the primary stuff of the universe. Consciousness is the ground of all being. It is not in the universe is in it. Your very body is a manifestation of consciousness. These are not passive, dead objects. They are living patterns of conscious energy, ideas and expectations given form. Think of it like a dream. In a dream, the entire environment, the other characters, the events that unfold, all of it is being generated by your own consciousness. The dream world feels real while you are in it, yet it has no substance outside of the mind that is dreaming it. Seth suggests that physical reality operates on a similar, though far more complex and stable principle. We are co-creators in a collective conscious projection. The laws of physics are not rigid, external rules we are forced to obey. They are shared agreements, foundational beliefs about the nature of reality that we have all consented to, which give our shared experience its structure and consistency. This means the universe is not a cold, empty machine. It is a vibrant, living, intelligent, and deeply personal expression of consciousness. The limitations we experience are not absolute truths, but functions of the beliefs we hold. By changing the belief, the very foundation of the experience begins to shift. Identifying with our larger, multidimensional self is the first step in learning to consciously and deliberately work with this fundamental creative principle, moving from a passive observer of our life to its active and joyous architect. In our exploration of the Seth material, we have journeyed from the seemingly ordinary life of Jane Roberts to the extraordinary revelation that our thoughts and beliefs are the very architects of our physical world. We've examined the foundational principle: you create your own reality. A statement so simple yet so profound, it challenges the very bedrock of conventional understanding. We have touched upon the idea that our consciousness is not a byproduct of the brain, but the fundamental energy from which all matter springs. Now we must venture deeper into a concept that expands our definition of self beyond anything we have ever conceived. We must ask the question, who or what are we really? According to Seth, the identity we cherish, the name we answer to, the face we see in the mirror, this is but a single brilliant facet of a much larger multidimensional consciousness. He refers to this greater identity as the whole self or the entity. This entity is not some distant, overseeing God, but the sum total of our being, a vast psychological structure of which our current personality is only one expression. To grasp this, we must first release our most ingrained assumption, the linear passage of time. We experience life as a straight line: birth, youth, old age, death, a one-way journey from past to present to future. He describes time not as a line, but as a spacious present. Within this eternal moment, all that you were, all that you are, and all that you will ever be exists simultaneously. Your past lives are not in the past. Your future lives are not waiting to happen. They are all occurring right now. They are other expressions of your whole self, exploring different realities, learning different lessons, all at once. You are not the result of a past life. You and that life are contemporaries, influencing and communicating with each other in ways that defy our linear logic. This communication often surfaces in our current lives as innate talents, inexplicable fascinations, or deep-seated phobias. A child prodigy who plays the piano without lessons might be tapping into the fully developed skills of another self. A sudden, overwhelming desire to visit a country you've never seen could be a resonance, a call from another part of your entity experiencing life there. Déjà vu in this context is not a memory trick, but a brief, fleeting moment where the veils thin, and you perceive a moment that another simultaneous self is also experiencing. You are, in effect, a multi-dimensional cooperative. All parts of your entity are connected, engaged in a vast, simultaneous exploration of existence. This framework then expands into an even more staggering concept: probable realities. Seth states that for every decision you make, a probable reality is born where you made the opposite choice. Think of a significant crossroads in your life: a job you didn't take, a relationship you ended, a path you chose not to walk. In another layer of reality, a probable version of you is living out that alternative. These are not lesser shadow realities. They are just as valid, just as real, as the one you are currently focused within. There are probable selves of you who are artists, scientists, failures, and heroes, each exploring a different avenue of potential. You are the sum of all your choices, both made and unmade. These probable selves are not strangers. We interact with them constantly, primarily in the dream state. Dreams, according to Seth, are one of the main workshops of consciousness. They are not merely symbolic refuse from our waking hours. They are legitimate landscapes of experience where we can test out decisions, solve problems, and communicate with other parts of our greater self. In dreams, you might meet and interact with these probable selves, trying on their realities for size. You might make a decision in a dream that solidifies a course of action in your waking life, because you have already explored the probable outcomes in that inner dimension. The implications are breathtaking. It means that you are not limited to this one body, this one life, this one set of circumstances. You are an eternal, multidimensional identity, a creator god in training, learning to handle the infinite energy of your own consciousness. Your current life is a magnificent, focused platform for learning and creation. The point of power, as Seth relentlessly emphasizes, is always in the present moment. It is from this moment that you choose which probabilities to make physical, which aspects of your whole self to express, and which reality you will bring into being. You are not a victim of circumstance, but the focal point through which a vast, unknowable self chooses to experience and create the universe. We will explore how we can begin to consciously connect with this greater identity and harness its wisdom to fundamentally transform the life we know. In our journey through the Seth material, we have firmly established the foundational principle. You create your own reality through your thoughts, beliefs, and expectations. It is a concept of immense personal power. But what if that statement was more vast, more profound than we ever imagined? What if, in the act of creating your reality, you were also creating countless others simultaneously? This is where we venture into one of Seth's most mind-bending and liberating concepts: the existence of probable realities and probable selves. Think of your life not as a single straight line, but as a magnificent, ever-growing tree. The trunk is your birth, and at every moment of choice, the tree branches out. In the reality you consciously perceive, you followed one specific branch. But according to Seth, every other possible choice you could have made, from the monumental to the seemingly trivial, also exists. Each choice creates its own valid branch, its own tangible reality, and living on that branch is a probable self. Another version of you, just as real, just as conscious, exploring a different avenue of existence. The career path you abandoned, a probable you is thriving in it. A probable you is discovering where it leads. The decision to turn left instead of right on a particular day, that too created a distinct experiential reality for another you. These aren't shadow lives or faint echoes, populated by versions of you who are convinced their reality is the only one. To truly begin to grasp this, we must release our rigid human perception of linear time. Seth explains that all time is simultaneous. Past, present, and future exist all at once in what he terms the spacious present. This is the key. All these probable realities aren't happening in a distant past or a hypothetical future. They are all unfolding right now, concurrently. You are a multi-dimensional being rooted in this spacious present, existing in countless realities at once. Your current awareness is simply focused or tuned in to this specific life, this particular frequency. It's much like an old radio. All the stations are broadcasting their unique songs at the same time, but your dial is tuned to this one station, making it the only one you hear. Yet the other music never stops playing. Crucially, these realities are not entirely sealed off from one another. A profound interplay is constantly occurring at the subconscious level, a quiet communication across the branches of your being.
Have you ever had a dream that felt astonishingly real?
Where you were living a different life, possessed different skills, or knew different people? Have you ever experienced a sudden flash of insight, a moment of déjà vu, or an inexplicable feeling of nostalgia for a life you've never lived? Seth suggests these are not mere fantasies, moments where the veil thins and you get a glimpse into the experiences of your probable selves. You are constantly learning from their successes and failures, and they are learning from yours. This vast network of selves forms your greater identity, a Gestalt consciousness that is infinitely more than the sum of its parts. You are all working together, consciously or not, to explore the infinite potential of your own being. This idea is not meant to diminish your current life or make you feel like one insignificant choice among many. It is meant to highlight the unimaginable power that resides in your point of focus, the present moment. The choice you make right now, the belief you choose to empower, the emotional state you cultivate, these actions are the tuning dial. They determine which probable future you will shift into and physically experience. You are at the center of your multidimensional self, navigating through a vast ocean of probabilities. By deliberately changing your core beliefs and expectations in this moment, you can literally shift to a different lifeline, aligning yourself with a probable reality that is more in tune with your desires. You are not a victim of a single unchangeable fate. You are the constant selector of your experience. The concept of probable realities fundamentally expands our definition of who and what we are. We are not a single, isolated personality on a fixed, narrow path. We are a vast, multi-dimensional consciousness, a brilliant symphony of voices and experiences, all exploring the infinite creativity of existence. Every single choice matters because every single choice is made real, and the ultimate power to choose which reality you perceive is, and always has been, right here, with you, in the eternal power of the now. This naturally leads us to the ultimate question. If we are all part of this vast, multi-dimensional tapestry of probabilities, what is the nature of the overall consciousness that contains it all? Who dreams this magnificent probable dream? This ultimate question, who dreams this magnificent probable dream, leads us to the most expansive concept in the Seth material. It requires us to confront the very nature of God, not as an external being, but as the source of all existence, the entity Seth simply calls all that is. To understand all that is, we must first discard the traditional human images of God as a singular, judgmental, father figure deity ruling from afar. According to Seth, all that is not separate from creation, it is the sum total of creation. It is the primal, intelligent, and loving energy from which all realities, all universes, and all consciousness spring. It is the ground of all being, the living, breathing fabric of existence itself. All that is everything. Every star, every stone, every thought, every emotion, every probable self you have ever been or will be. It is a gestalt of consciousness, an identity that is constantly in a state of becoming, a divine field of infinite potentiality seeking to know and experience itself in every conceivable way. The nature of this prime consciousness is not static or distant. It is profoundly dynamic, endlessly creative, and according to Seth, filled with an insatiable passion for creation and experience. It is not a being that is already complete, but one that is in a constant state of joyous becoming. All that is learns about its own infinite nature through the subjective experiences of every consciousness that composes it. Your joys, your sorrows, your triumphs, and your challenges are not insignificant. They are the priceless experiences through which all that is grows and expands. We are not separate fallen creatures being tested by God. We are God experiencing a small, unique, and vital part of its own totality. We are the nerve endings of the divine, the explorers sent into the dream of physical reality to feel, to choose, and to create. There is no grand external judgment waiting for us. Only the loving, constant, and creative impulse of the source from which we are made and to which we always belong. This understanding completely reframes our entire purpose. If we are truly individualizations of all that is, then our purpose is not to struggle for worthiness or to please some distant external authority. Our primary purpose is simply to be ourselves as fully, joyfully, and creatively as possible, exploring the unique potential inherent within our own consciousness. Every choice we make, every reality we create, adds a unique and irreplaceable thread to the infinite tapestry of cosmic experience. Our value is inherent and absolute. We are not here to prove our worthiness. Our very existence is the proof. We are meant to be co-creators, to take the raw energy of consciousness and mold it through our beliefs and desires into tangible physical experience. The power to create worlds is not a gift bestowed upon us. It is our fundamental nature. We are, in the most literal sense, all that is discovering a new way to be. And so, our journey through the Seth material comes full circle. We began with the story of a woman named Jane Roberts, whose consciousness opened a doorway to a vaster reality. Through that doorway, we received a framework for understanding our own power. We learned that our thoughts and beliefs are not idle things, but the very tools we use to build our lives. We discovered we are not a single, limited self, but a magnificent, multi-dimensional consciousness existing across countless realities. And finally, we have arrived at the understanding that we are not alone, nor are we separate. We are integral, beloved, and necessary aspects of all that is, the source of all existence. You are safe. You are powerful. You are a divine piece of the universe seeking to know itself. The greatest adventure, the most sacred purpose, is to embrace that truth and to create a reality that reflects the magnificent, unlimited being you truly are. Your life is your unique artistic creation, a masterpiece in progress, painted on the infinite canvas of all that is.
The universe is in you. Awaken the creator within.